Hey, great question. So we have to remember that when we are talking about the dictatorship of the proletariat, Vladimir Lenin's State and Revolution, we have to remember, where does the state come from? What purpose does the state have in the historical development of human society? The state, as far as Marxist Leninists are concerned, is there to enforce class dominance. Okay, so like right now, the state works to enforce bourgeois, capitalist, that's the bourgeoisie, dominance over the working class and all other classes. The dictatorship of the proletariat, it's the revolution, baby. It's the proletarian, the working class, taking over the state apparatus and using the legal systems and all of the tools at the state's disposal and flipping it on its head, right? So right now we have a dictatorship of capital. We have a dictatorship of the rich, an oligarchy, whatever you want to call it, whatever language makes sense to you. We have the 1% ruling over the 99%. And so we flip it on its head. And now we have, instead of having bourgeois democracy, which is the dictatorship of capital, where a small minority rule over the majority, we will have worker democracy, which is the majority will now be ruling over the minority, the rich. I know, right? It sounds terrible. You know, the language dictatorship is like, but if you look at the Soviet system or the Chinese system or the Cuban system, Vietnam, et cetera, you'll see that they're very, very democratic. And in many, many, many more ways democratic than here. You'll have much higher participation. People are actually voting. People are actually able to, from lower income, actually be in the government. Unlike here, you know, look at our freaking Congress. It's like half millionaires, I think, over now. To put it simply, the dictatorship of the proletariat is the suppression of the capitalists and reactionaries during and after the revolution. Stalin sums it up perfectly here in Leninism. To put it briefly, the dictatorship of the proletariat is the rule of the proletariat over the bourgeoisie, a rule unrestricted by law based upon force, enjoying the sympathy and support of the laboring and exploited masses. You know, here's Lenin. The dictatorship of the proletariat must be a state that embodies a new kind of democracy for the proletarian and the dispossessed, and a new kind of dictatorship against the bourgeoisie.